When this film got announced, I was fully expecting to hate it. But you know what? I was pleasantly surprised. Primate is the newest film in theatres and follows two girls who go and visit their father, who for some reason has a pet chimpanzee. But when said chimpanzee contracts rabies, he goes on a killing spree. I for one don't really like movies about monsters. I think a lot of them are extremely cliched. They're either cliched or they fall into the traps that typical monster films do. But we are missing that 90s feeling animal feature that is so needed in times like this. I kind of feel like we're either bogged down in seriousness on one side or we're bogged down by self-awareness on the other, and there's no middle ground between those both. But Primate is that middle ground, and it's quite a good middle ground at that. Like I said, I'm not really a fan of monster features or anything like this, but I was pleasantly surprised with how much I got out of it. For one, it's good to see Troy Kotsur back in a film after he won his Oscar for Coda. I know it's difficult to find him roles because he is deaf and he's part of that community, so it's good to see him in a film in the theaters for once. One thing I also like is the practicality. It goes back to the basics. Like I said, it's like 90s schlock. Having a guy in a costume rather than CGI is a really important thing to me. For one, it raises the stakes. You can actually tell that these people are being scared because they're acting against something. Rather than just looking at a blue screen or a blue tennis ball, they're actually acting against something, and you feel that tension and you feel that stake. Because I feel like a lot of films kind of forget about stakes and rather just look at the spectacle of everything. But you do feel fear in these characters, down to Ben, who has contracted this disease. A disease that is a real thing in today's world. Can't talk about this film without talking about what it's loosely based on. It is based on Travis the chimp. If you don't know, there was a chimpanzee called Travis who was domesticated. He was raised in a household, and then one day he just went crazy. He caused a lot of damage, and it inspired a bunch of animal welfare laws, which is a good thing. And this film is loosely based on that, and that can kind of feel a little bit like morally bankrupt, especially when you base this off a real incident and you kind of fictionalize it. It can come across as a little bit obtuse. But I think that Primate does a middle ground. It takes a middle ground with its themes, with its thematics, with its stance on animal welfare as a whole, and it's gory as fuck. Like, oh my god. I don't like gore in films, really. I'm not a gore hound at all. I find quite a lot of it to be unnecessary, but for some reason, right, Primate just does it right. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's a 90s schlock, like I said, like Congo, like Deep Blue Sea, where it's just over the top bullshit, and I kind of fell for it. Maybe the film does have issues, obviously. I think the dialogue is pretty bad, unfortunately, and there isn't much character development going on with the adult characters. But again, they're kind of just used as pigeon fodder. They're kind of disposable. You're supposed to just look at it, look at the spectacle of it all, because the film doesn't bog itself down with all of the cliches that you find. In the end, I like Primate. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't think I was gonna like it. I thought I was gonna fucking hate it. For some reason, I walked out of that theater pleasantly surprised, and I was like, okay, that wasn't a waste of my time at all. That was actually pretty solid. Will I watch it again? I don't know. It's definitely a one-time watch, but sometimes one-time watches are fine, you know? I'm gonna give Primate a 7 out of 10. Pleasantly surprised. To be fair, I probably shocked a lot of you. You in the comments are gonna be like, you actually like this thing? Really? But it is what it is. But thank you guys for watching this video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and tell me down below what you want to see from me next. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.